Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Need I Say Myrrh, the Christmas podcast. And today we have the third and final part of our Series 1 selection box, featuring some clips from our chats from Series 1, which are available in full on your favourite podcast provider. And we begin today with a clip from our chat with Paul Carr, where he gives some less common choices for favourite non-religious Christmas songs.
Well, this has been a really difficult choice, I have to say. I've got it down to three, but I think I'm going to make a decision as I speak.
Okay.
Deacon Blue, one of my favourite bands. Ricky Ross, the lead singer, has played at Emmanuel a couple of times. And they sing a song called You'll Know It's Christmas. And it talks about the birth of Jesus and what the real meaning of Christmas is. Another singer favourite of mine called Paul Carr has a song, Thinking About You This Christmas, which is quite a jolly, easy listening sort of Christmas song. But there's an Irish singer called Paul Brady who has written a song called Working at Christmas. And in this song, he mentions clergy working, and he also mentions prison officers. And before I was ordained, I was a prison officer.
Okay.
And it's the only song I've ever heard where somebody mentions clergy and prison officer in the same song as people who work at Christmas. So I'm going to go with Working at Christmas by Irish singer-songwriter Paul Brady.
Now we're going to move on to our chat with Ruth Evans, where she gives multiple reasons why she loves Christmas cake.
Firstly, the making of Christmas cake. So it has to be homemade. And everybody in the family has to get involved, and everyone in the family has to stir some of the Christmas cake, whether they want to or not. It smells amazing while it's baking. The decorating of it is just a family tradition. So when I was little, I remember arguing with my brothers over whether this particular decoration was allowed to go there or what. And now my children do it too. It's just joyful. And then you get to eat it. I mean, what's not to love about fruitcake? I know people have different opinions on fruitcake. Those who don't like it, I'm sorry for you, because it's a joy. And marzipan.
Marzipan. Next up in our selection box, we're going to hear from Davy Ellison, who decides to condemn a whole subgenre of Christmas decoration.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this answer is going to be a little bit controversial. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm not going to go for a single decoration. What I'm going to go for is a category of decoration, and I really dislike fancy Christmas decorations. So you go to these, you go to the shops, you go to garden centres in Northern Ireland's big thing for Christmas. And they have all of these fancy trees decorated in purple and peach and all these fancy ornaments and decorations. And to me, that's not Christmas. To me, Christmas decorations are red and green and tacky. And that is what Christmas is about in terms of Christmas decorations, the tackiness. So I really dislike the kind of posh, fancy decorations. And I buy myself a Christmas decoration every December. So my collection is slowly growing, but it is never posh, fancy Christmas decorations that are the in colors that year or that kind of thing. No, it's big, fat red Santas or elves in green costumes, or snow-covered grottos and things like that. We're not buying decorations for the tree anymore because our tree is at like full load-bearing capacity. It cannot take any more. So it is, decorations that don't go on the tree. I'm trying to convince my wife that we should get some kind of inflatable decorations for the garden, but she's not having any of it. So yeah, you can pray for me that maybe that'll happen this year. We'll get the breakthrough.
Now, from human Christmas to dog Christmas, here is Claire Williams telling us how her dog Ivy likes to celebrate Christmas.
Very, very important question in our household. So Ivy is a Cocker Spaniel and celebrates most of life all the time. She approaches the world with much joy, except for when we put her Christmas jumper on her, when she doesn't feel much joy for that, although we do expect it because we all have to participate in Christmas.
It's good that you've got a Christmas jumper for her.
Yeah, but I've lost it. I wanted to put her in it today and I can't find it. I suspect foul play, that she might have either eaten it or hidden it. My husband, who takes pity on her when I try and put her in this jumper. So Ivy's general approach to Christmas is to try and beg for bits of chicken and sausage and whatnot. But this year she has an even more important task, because for this year Ivy has to welcome yet another Cocker Spaniel into the house, because we are getting a second one, a puppy. So her job will be to facilitate that and help us all to settle the puppy in and have yet again another puppy at Christmas, which was what we did 2 years ago with Ivy, and it's quite an intense experience for everyone.
I'm sure, yes.
But yes, she very much likes Christmas because lots of people and lots of like roast meat. What else is there to want in the world? And people decorate a tree full of dog toys.
That is exciting. Does she get presents as well?
She does, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's very important. So what did she get last year? Last year she got Goosey. Now, Goosey was a fluffy goose which didn't survive beyond February. Yeah, she pretty much ate Goosey.
Okay. Next up is Helen Bryant, who shares with us a nativity play related memory from her childhood.
Well, I love the Angel Gabriel, partly because, it goes back a long way. So when I was at Sunday school, the big deal was if you were the Angel Gabriel, you got to stand in the pulpit and deliver your lines. It was the biggest gig that you could get in St. Peter's, St. Albans Sunday School. And 1 year I was the Angel Gabriel. And I was like, great, I'm going to get to stand in the pulpit, I'm going to get to stand on the box and deliver my lines. I went up there and I was too short. You couldn't see me.
No.
You could only, I'm still working through it. You could only see my little tinsel halo. So I wasn't allowed to stand in the pulpit. I had to come down and stand on a box and read my lines through a microphone. So, So those of you out there who have similar nativity stories, please, here's your forum. But I also, again, this idea of of being the messenger, of maybe not actually being seen from the pulpit. That might explain my career choices. I'm an ordinary, I'm going to go in a pulpit. Maybe that was the way forward. But also that idea of somebody just being that step removed from the situation and giving the message and sending it out. So that's why Gabriel, but only because I still just need to work out not being able to be in the pulpit that day.
Yes, so you're still working through that. So I'm glad that we could provide a forum for you to mention that again. And
that's all right. Thank you.
One of the recurring themes of this current series is people criticising Turkey. Here's Richard Miles in the first series defending Turkey and describing how much he loves that classic Christmas bird.
My favourite festive food, I think, now this may sound obvious, but it's the actual turkey. Now, the thing that Christmas is really known for. I enjoy nothing better than a well-cooked turkey with some cranberry sauce. Have memories of growing up at home and the night before, the turkey being put into the oven, and the smell from the turkey was always absolutely wonderful. Just evokes a memory of Christmases, smelling the turkey and then enjoying the turkey on Christmas Day, and of course then from subsequent days afterwards, because you'd have turkey with all the trimmings on Christmas Day, then the following day you might well have turkey and chips, you have turkey sandwiches and all sorts of things like that. Some people would say you might get sick of it by the end of the Christmas period, but I've always enjoyed it, I must say. We did go and visit one of my nephews a few years ago, and he gave us goose. That's something that I'd not experienced before. I enjoyed that, I must say. Yes, it was good. It was nice just to have a bit of a change, but I still think probably I'd prefer coming back to turkey at Christmas. Now, the thing is, I probably wouldn't have turkey at many other times of the year apart from Christmas. So it's particularly a Christmas thing, I guess. So it's something to look forward to at this time of the year, really.
I've enjoyed hearing from different guests about their experiences of Christmas in different countries. And here is John Woods talking about Christmas in Latvia.
Well, it's interesting because, chatting to people about it, it's a bit of an amalgam of ancient pagan rituals, Americanization of Christmas, which I think is kind of something that's quite common all around the world, and obviously the Christian message and practices, because Latvia has had the presence of the Lutheran Church in the country for 800 years, and also from the mid-19th century, quite a strong Baptist movement, and so there are the kind of the normal customs that would be associated with those Christian churches. There's also something which is kind of starting this week. So for Advent, they're having a walk of light. So throughout Riga, it's a little bit more than Christmas lights. It is designed to be a kind of a journey of light throughout the city, and that's quite spectacular. And I think like with a number of higher up North Hemisphere places, it gets dark pretty early, and therefore light is particularly important. And I think that idea of communicating light in the darkness is quite poignant. But in terms of the pagan stuff, famously there is the Midsummer Day, which is Janus Dian or Liga, which is a midsummer festival, which has some kind of really strange practices, quite a lot of drinking going on. But for example, there's the practice of jumping over the bonfire, and if you're a pregnant woman jumping over the bonfire, it's supposed to be a kind of beneficial thing for the future of the child, although it sounds like a pretty dangerous thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure many doctors would recommend that, but
it's not to be recommended. Don't try this at home, children. So for Christmas, there is the custom of people dressing up as animals, wearing animal masks, and it's kind of this kind of idea of folklore of wild animals in the forest, particularly the forest being a kind of spooky kind of place, and dressing up as animals in order to ward off the nasty bits that the animals bring. And they pull with ropes a log, often an oak log, a large oak log, which is presumably the derivation of the Yule log, but this one is not chocolate. And the idea is that you pull a log through your community, and it wipes away all the kind of nasty thoughts, ideas, and wishes and actions, and and reflects on the possibility of there being a new year and a new start.
Okay.
So that's kind of, that's probably not going to catch on in the UK, I feel.
And now it's time to go back to the topic of food, as Barry Strudwick gives us a less common answer to the "what's your favourite festive food" question.
Okay, well, there's two. One is going to be probably the same as a lot of people: pigs in blankets. I mean, I don't know why we only have them at Christmas. I mean, they're just amazing. But when we were growing up, there was a lady in our church who used to cook fudge and give us some every Christmas. And we get it in like a little margarine pot, and you have your name stick it on the top. And we saw the box. It was a box of stalk, but you knew what was in it. It was this fudge, and honestly, it was just the greatest thing. It was one of those kind of fudges that when you're eating it, you could actually feel your teeth sort of rotting. There was that much sugar in it. It was every Christmas when I was young, looking forward to that. So yeah, sadly she's now with the Lord, but yeah, so I don't get the fudge anymore. But pigs in blankets would be the.
And finally, we'll round off this selection box with a clip from the episode where my son Ruben interviewed me about the questions I'd been asking other guests. And that episode finished, well, I was planning for it to finish with us saying Happy Christmas together, but Ruben had slightly different ideas. So we'll say to everyone who's listening, Happy Christmas
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everyone. Happy birthday to you.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!